Bonjour et bienvenue. Welcome to Straight Through the Channel. Today we are going to talk about the object, le complément d'objet. It is very useful to know the difference between a direct and an indirect object. First, to understand how the language works, but also to be able to make more complex sentences in French. For example, using relative pronouns or direct and indirect object pronouns. Right, so as we have seen in a precedent video, sentences are made up of verbs, subject and object. In French, le complément d'objet, which is what we are going to focus on now. If you have a look at these sentences, you can see there is a subject, a verb and an object. But if you look more closely, the object looks a bit funny. This is because there is a little word called a preposition. In fact, in these sentences, you have two different objects separated by this preposition. A preposition is a word without a proper job in the sentence, but which connects two words. In French, you're often going to see à and de. For example, je parle de mon livre, je vais chez mes parents. So let's have a look at our sentence and try to cut it down. Je lis un livre. As you might remember, to find the direct object, you need to ask subject plus verb plus what. In this case, I read what? Je lis quoi? Un livre. Un livre is therefore your direct object. The direct object is directly attached to the verb, hence its name. It is the object upon which the action is performed, and it answers the question what or who. Now let's go back to the full sentence. Je lis un livre à mon frère. To find the indirect object, you need to ask subject, verb, direct object, and to whom or for whom. In this case, I read a book to whom. Je lis un livre à qui? À mon frère. À mon frère is therefore your indirect object. So the indirect object is indirectly attached to the verb with a preposition and answers the question to what, to whom, or for what, for whom. Now if we have a look at this sentence, je donne des fleurs à ma mère. Let's try to find a direct object. Je donne quoi? I give what? Des fleurs. I give flowers. Therefore, des fleurs, flowers, is your direct object. Now for the indirect object. Je donne des fleurs à qui? I give flowers to whom? To my mother. À ma mère. Therefore, it is your indirect object. In French, because we're a bit lazy and complément d'objet direct ou indirect is a bit too long, we shorten it and call it COD or COI. Now, j'achète un cadeau à ma sœur. Let's try to find the direct object. J'achète quoi? Un cadeau, which is therefore your COD. And for the indirect object, j'achète un cadeau à qui? À ma sœur, which is therefore your COI. Be careful though when it comes to these little words called prepositions. For example, in je lis le livre de mon frère, je lis quoi le livre is your direct object. But if you're trying to find an indirect object and ask je lis le livre à qui, you don't have an answer. Therefore, your direct object is le livre de mon frère, and there is no indirect object in this sentence. Here is a little recapitulative table. Don't forget that although direct object is necessary in the sentence, you don't always have an indirect object. Merci de votre attention et à bientôt.